Hi, I'm Robin McAlpine and I'm the director of Commonweal. And keep going. Right, okay. So I'm talking here from the book launch, Commonweal Book of Ideas launch, and I'm talking from a book launch that was organised by the Edinburgh Commonweal groups. And so I've just been talking to them about why we need to look at the kind of ideas that we put in the Book of Ideas in terms of Scotland and its good governance over the next 5 years. So we've got an election next year, we have to do something, what's that going to be? But there's another way that I look at the Book of Ideas, and it's in relation to independence. So we're specifically saying with this book that it is not about what could Scotland do if it was independent or had more powers. We were sceptical about the Smith Commission. We looked at it seriously, but we built largely from the powers that the Scottish Parliament currently has. So, we've come up with these proposals which are about creating a better Scotland over the next 5 years. The question is, what does that have to do with independence? Well, it's, for me, absolutely central to the strategy for independence. Some of you may have heard me going on before already about the fact that I'm convinced that the next independence referendum, or the next one that we can definitely deliver from within our control, is in 2021. What gets us in the best position to win that referendum? Well, of course there's a lot of preparatory work we need to do on things like the case for currency, the fiscal situation in Scotland, pensions, constitution, Europe, and so on. So we do need to get all of that work done. But that's not the only things that we need to do to position Scotland to be in the best possible situation to achieve independence. The other thing that we have to do is make Scotland somewhere that people who live here are beginning to see as its own country. So get them to see that we're already so substantially different, so substantially more progressive than what is happening in London, what's happening in British politics, that the next step becomes more straightforward, more obvious. Now, there's fabulous mulled wine at this thing, so you must excuse me while I grab a quick drink. So, what does that mean? Well, let me give one example to show you the kind of policies that we can pursue over the next 5 years that make Scotland more ready, more prepared for independence. And I'm going to start with banking, because it's something which people assume that we can do nothing about now that we didn't get the powers of independence and now that we're stuck within the regulatory framework of the UK. That was somebody else's. This isn't true. We can do substantial things with banking. So if you look at a country like, for example, Germany or Japan, both these countries, a majority of their retail banking, the domestic banking services, are delivered by municipal banks. So the local authorities or the municipalities run their banks. There is nothing stopping us from copying this model in Scotland. So we could have every local authority in Scotland set up a bank, the purpose of which is lending to its local community, giving proper banking, secure banking services to its population, where you can get proper liquidity going into the local small business market and so on. And with modern technology, most people are now doing most of the banking online or via mobile devices. So that makes it very easy to set up these banks. But it also means that those that want to do face-to-face banking, you can use the infrastructure of local authorities. So you can pay money in at your sports centre or your local council offices, and you can have that kind of banking services. Right, so good, we understand we can have a steady, secure banking system, better at lending to small business, better at providing solid, supportive services to their customers. What does that mean about, what's that going to do with independence? Well, one of the key reasons that I would argue that we should be considering this now is to think about the impact that would have come the next independence referendum. If we get to the next referendum and we've created a solid, steady municipal banking sector, and the banking sector does what it did last time with its veiled threats about leaving, about getting up and going, casting Scotland into some sort of crisis, well, we can look at them and we can say, fair enough, cheerio, on you go. We have a solid, steady banking system. Now, what we called it in this book is there's a chapter in the book which is called In Our Hands, By Our Hands. And what we mean by this is that we should look at the ways in which we can use 5 years of policy development in Scotland to create a Scotland which is more resilient, more able to stand on its own feet, more able to look after its own services and be less reliant on either corporations or the UK government or external factors. Now, the more that we can do this, the more that we can make Scotland a place which, for example, in its food production, in its banking system, in its local government, in the way that it's delivering services, in all of these areas, if we can make a Scotland which is more self-sufficient, more self-contained, then we are much less vulnerable at a later date to the threats and the bullying that we got in the last referendum. And we can do this. We can start to create this. Now, I may have to stop at this point because I think they're starting to feed back here.